Welcome in. This is the Wardo Sportscast. I am your host, Jared Ward. Today's story is one that is sports-based, but also a story about real life. It is a story where sports is a main component, but it is far from the focus of the story. There are parts to it that almost seem like a miracle, and maybe it is, but it is also a story about family, perseverance, hard work, and dedication. This is the story of Aidan Dow. Aidan is about to turn 19 years old next month. He is a freshman at St. Anselm's College in southern New Hampshire, where he plays baseball. Today, he is fully healthy and one of the most athletic 19-year-olds that you will meet. You would never know that 19 years ago, his health and life were in question. Before I go further, I should add that there is a reason that I know this story so well. Aidan's mother is my older sister, Jill. I was 14 years old when I became an uncle to Aidan, and I remember all of this vividly. The story begins before Aidan was even born. Doctors realized that there were complications early on in his mother's pregnancy. At birth, doctors were prepared for whatever would be needed. He came out breathing, but with a very rare combination of congenital cystic adenomatoid malformation and bronchial atresia. He was only the second known case of such a combination. Uncertainty was in the air. He would survive this, but these issues affect oxygen flow, and he would need to go to surgery as soon as possible. He would survive, but lung complications were expected, including possible asthma. Playing sports was literally the last thought on anybody's mind at that point. Fast forward 5 years. The surgery was a success, and Aidan has had routine checkups that show no signs of complications. He is given a clean bill of health. This is a massive step for him. Step one of so many that begin to take place, one after another, on the field and off the field as well. Aidan starts playing sports not too long after he is deemed fully healthy. He becomes addicted to baseball, football, and basketball. He plays all three organized, which keeps him going year-round. There is no sign whatsoever of anything slowing him down at all. It isn't long before he is standing out as an athlete, especially in baseball. He begins tossing complete games and jacking home runs in numbers. The best part is that he's got a Pete Rose-style hustle to his game and is beloved by all his coaches. Moving on to high school, he plays varsity in all three of the previously mentioned sports for the Lynn Classical Rams. Senior year in football, on Thanksgiving morning, he picks off a pass against their crosstown rival and takes it all the way in for a pick six. Later on in that game, with the game on the line, he adds another interception to finish off the team. Junior year in baseball, he tosses multiple complete games against that same rival. He also contributes heavily at the plate for the Rams. He missed his senior year of baseball due to the COVID pandemic. He still found a home up in New Hampshire, though, with the St. Anselm Hawks baseball team. Unfortunately, his freshman year is also facing some COVID complications. I caught up with Aidan this week to chat more with him about his story. All right, I'm here with Aidan Dow, freshman at St. Anselm's. What's up, man?
How you doing?
Just chilling. You know how it is.
Same.
So how's school?
School has been a very different experience this year from what normal college would be, like all online classes and stuff. So it's definitely a very different experience.
For sure. Yeah, I bet it is. Things starting to open up a little more.
Yeah. Everything's starting to open up a little bit more.
Sweet. So I'm doing a podcast on your whole story, and so I'll just start with when did you first find out everything that happened when you were born?
I knew when I was like 6 or 7, but like I didn't really understand it until I was probably like 12, 13.
Yeah. So that was my next question. When did you start playing sports? Like, what age do you remember you playing sports?
I think I started playing sports at like 4 years old.
Yeah. So you had a clean bill of health when you were 5.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you started playing sports like right away. I think that's what I was trying to lead into. Yeah. I wasn't sure exactly what age it was, but I knew it was around the same time that you got the clean bill of health. When did you start really loving sports or notice that you were standing out?
Probably when I was 12 or 13. Like I really started to feel as if I had something special that I could lead into the next path.
Yeah, like that last year at Little League.
Yeah.
No, I remember
I started to get some attention from like private high schools, and that's when I was like, wow, I have something that I can do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I remember when you played for the Reds, and then you did the home run derby, and you had a couple complete games that year and stuff, and that's kind of when I remember that too. Um,
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask about like Thanksgiving. Like obviously, I led into the interview by telling the story. Like I touched on it, but if you want to give your side of the story and just say what happened against Lynn English on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, during the first drive, I felt like it was going to be something special. It's just a moment that I couldn't describe the feeling of. It was something that I will never forget, and it was just all reactions to film, basically watching a lot of film, and then I seen something happen, and something clicked, and I was just ready to straight go. I knew it was going on.
No, that's it. A lot of great players say that. They think, everyone thinks it's all, who's the best athlete or, who's the quickest to react. But the reality is, like, studying tape does just as much, if not more, for you than any of those athletic skills. But yeah, no, and then you made another pick later in the game to kind of seal the deal. So it's just kind of a perfect day.
Yeah.
I remember being in the crowd, and it really was like a perfect day.
Yeah, I actually went to the sidelines after my first interception, and I told our trainer, I was like, I know I'm feeling this sounds really greedy, but I really want another interception today.
Yeah. Well, why not? You were
Yeah,
no, and you had about
I felt it.
you had about 10 tackles in that game too, as well. And then
Yeah.
leading into like baseball, you had a really dominant junior year, and then you had your senior year kind of the rug swept out from under you on that. If you wanted to just touch on that a little bit and how disappointing it was.
Yeah, it definitely was very disappointing to find out that I wasn't going to have my senior year of baseball. I mean, I was just happy that I was able to play basketball and football during the year. Missing out on my senior year of baseball definitely is something that was heartbreaking to me.
Yeah, I mean that's something you can't get back, and luckily you did have a really good junior year, but that still doesn't make up for it. And then
I'm glad I got like a lot of talking to in the summer of my junior year, so I didn't have to worry about it my senior year.
Yeah, no, it's still tough. You want to play that last season with your guys, and when you don't get to prepare for it, it just makes it even worse. You don't get that goodbye season. You kind of just walked away from each other.
Yeah.
And then obviously you're facing some COVID complications again this season now that you're at St. A's as a freshman. But if you wanted to just touch on that as well.
Yeah, COVID definitely has had a very big toll on me for my freshman year. I was in quarantine 3 different times. One of the times I actually got COVID, so it was really tough.
3 different times, huh? Yeah, no, that is tough. So it's hard to get in. With baseball, just like a lot of other sports, it's all about getting into a rhythm. It's got to be hard to get into a rhythm when you keep taking breaks.
Yeah, I'm starting to get back into a rhythm now. Now that I'm finally back into things.
That's good. Well, hey man, yeah, no, I wanted to just sit down with you real quick and talk about some of this, but no, I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
As you can see, Aidan is a really respectful and driven kid. He just can't wait to be back on the field and have life be back to normal. If his past is any indication, he will push through this and succeed. His positive attitude and great work ethic have gotten him to this point and will continue to push him forward. Thanks for listening. I am Jared Ward with the Wardo Sportscast. Come back next week when we discuss Mac Jones to the Patriots, Jason Tatum's historic 60-point game, the Bruins playoff push, and the first place Boston Red Sox. Have a good one, everybody.